Welcome back. All right, the Battle of Florida is rejoined. This is going to be a crazy series. This game tonight, I don't think is indicative of how the whole series is going to go. That being said, we shall see. Fascinating series we have on our hands. Bobrovsky versus Vasilevsky in this one. Forsling has a shot that deflects wide. Things get pushy early on. Not that it was really an overly fighty game. Like I kind of thought maybe we might see a bunch of penalty minutes and I might have Prime Ape on the board, but I don't. So Rodriguez fires one wide as the Panthers press. Kucherov has a wrister that's blocked. The Panthers clear. And then at 3:44, Bennett just bats a net feed out of the air into the net. Samoskevich with the assist. It's 1-0 Florida, kind of sort of out of nowhere. Panthers look for another. Shots are 3-2 for Tampa, though, at 5 minutes. Kucherov is a net feed. That's blocked. The standard Florida forechecking is going on in this game. They're very effective with the forecheck. I've talked about this in every single regular season game. We go a long stretch without a whistle. Another linesman was down. He took a puck to the back. He would stay in the game. But that's 3 linesmen now that have been hurt. And in this case, he doesn't leave the game, but for the playoffs being as early as they are, it's a lot of linesmen getting hit with pucks or colliding with players. Marchand fans on one. The Bolts clear. We get a power play for Tampa. There's an early clear. Tampa Bay sets up. They cycle. Hagel gets robbed. Puck clears out. And then with 4 seconds left in the power play, Tampa ties it. Gensel buries a loose puck in the crease. Hedman and Kucherov with the assists at 12:21. The game is tied at 1. Tampa then looks for the lead. Reinhart has a net drive chance. That's blocked. But the shots are 7-3 Tampa with 5 minutes left. Yep, playing well. Teams trade rushes. Chernak is rocked on a big hit in the corner. He would exit for a while. He did come back into the game. Panthers press with 3 minutes left. Cirelli fires one wide. The Panthers clear. Cirelli did not finish this game. 55.1 seconds left. Things get pushy at the benches. And then in 19:15, when we get back to playing, Reinhart scores to make it 2-1. It's only the 6th shot on net for Florida, and it's the 2nd goal. Kulikov and Verhaeghe with the assists. And the building gets kind of quiet after that 2-1 goal. There's some pushing at the horn. It's 2-1 Florida after 1. But you could feel the tension in the building. We go to the second period. Early press by Florida. Tkachuk can't bury one in close. Tampa presses at 2 minutes. Panthers are blocking the path to the net at this point. And then at 4:41, Schmidt buries a loose puck on a turnover. Luostarinen and Marchand with the assists. Maybe a goalie interference challenge that baffled me more than any other over the last, I'll say, month. And I've seen some goalie interference challenges where I'm thinking, come on, that's not coming back. But not in the playoffs. It was pretty obvious there was nothing there. I didn't see anything that should have caused John Cooper to say, well, I have to challenge that. And so now it is a 3-1 lead for Florida, and you just put them on the power play. So the Florida Panthers go, all right, fine, and 14 seconds later they score again. It is the fastest that 2 goals have been scored by the Panthers in a playoff game, and it's Tkachuk from the doorstep, Reinhart and Barkov with the assists. It's a tic-tac-toe play, and so, in my opinion, that goes straight on to John Cooper. While Cooper's an excellent coach, I thought that challenge was a bad idea. So that makes it 4-1, and really, I thought it turned the game there. Bolts look to respond. Crowd really, really out of it at this point. Paul has a shot that's held. There's some pushing. Luostarinen has a rush chance. That's saved. Hagel fires one wide on a rush. The shots on net are only 4 apiece at 8.5 minutes, but 2 of the 4 shots for Florida have gone into the net. Florida goes back to the power play, and they score at 9:44. Vasilevsky just loses the puck. And so Matthew Tkachuk goes, I found it, and puts it into the net. So there you go. The Bolts then look to respond, and they would eventually get one. At 13:04, Point wires one from in close. McDonough and Gonsalves with the assists. That cuts the Florida lead down to 5-2. I never really got the impression that Tampa was going to come back in this game, though. I really didn't. So there's a press by Tampa with 5 minutes left. They're kept to the outside. Perbix fires one wide as Tampa Bay's getting some more pressure here. Teams trade turnovers. Lots of whistles. This game was slowed to an absolute crawl in the second half of the second period. Verhaeghe has a rush chance that's held. There's another chance by Verhaeghe that's held. There were offsides. There's everything else. It was a long second period. And it is 5-2 for Florida after 2. So it's a long second period for Tampa and their fans as well. Third period, Kucherov to point. That chance gets picked off. Marchand has a net drive chance that's defended. Paul then has a net drive chance that's saved. Lots of one and done early. Not a lot of prolonged pressures or presses. And Florida probably pretty happy about that. Like, let's keep the clock running for as much as we can. There wasn't any word on Cirelli got hurt in the second period, and there wasn't any word on how long he was going to be out or anything, because it's the playoffs. They're not going to tell us anything. So we'll see if Cirelli's back for the next game. That is a huge blow to Tampa if they lose Cirelli, especially with how this game went in Florida's favor. Cirelli being a really good defensive forward. It's just, you can't. You can't replace Cirelli. I'm sure they've got other players to jump into the lineup, but that one hurts. Absolutely hurts. So Chernak has a shot that's held. Whistles are frequent again at this point. We then get a power play for the Panthers. Early clear, pretty aggressive penalty kill. The Panthers go offside, but they would score on the power play. Schmidt with a wrister pass to screen. He scores his second goal of the game. Tkachuk and Barkov with the assists at 5:09. To anybody who might be a Canuck fan watching this, a lot of Canucks are getting goals in this playoffs. Just not current Canucks. They're former Canucks. The regular Canucks are at home. It just makes me wonder, are there players they've got rid of that maybe they shouldn't have? At any rate, yeah, Schmidt, so that wrister pass to screen makes it 6-2. The shots are 3-2 for Florida at 8 minutes, and the fans are completely out of this. And Florida did not give daylight to the Tampa Bay Lightning. We get a post for Chernak. The horn sounded, so the officials have a chat about it, and the review confirms it's no goal. It's just one of those things. Your finger's right on that switch, and somebody pressed the button, and everything goes off, and no, that was a post. Tampa draws a power play. The power plays to this point had not failed. Keep that in mind. So early clear, and then they cycle. Hedman has a shot that deflects out. Kucherov to point near miss. Panthers clear. Power play's killed off. Radish then has a slapper after that saved. Chernak then has a net feed that's held. With 6:14 left, Tampa goes back to the power play. Now, the math's kind of dodgy because you're down by 4. You got 6 minutes left. But, I mean, technically, if you get a power play goal here, you're kind of back in the game. So, at any rate, early cycle, it's cleared. I didn't write much down because that power play didn't generate anything. Power play's killed off. No shots on net for Tampa. That Florida defense, when they needed it tonight, it was something. Chernak has a net feed that's held. We're down here now already. Marchand has a chance saved as the clock's winding down. Florida played the full 60 minutes tonight. This was, I know Tampa got 2 goals, but in my opinion, Florida played a full 60 minutes. They win 6-2. They all of a sudden just flipped the switch. Something I talked about over the last couple weeks of regular season. Can they flip the switch? And the answer tonight was yes. Now it's up to Tampa to assert themselves at home. They have to win the second game because you do not want to be going to Florida down 2-0 or the series will be over quickly. Shots on net, 10-6 Tampa in the first, 7-6 Florida in the second, 6-3 Tampa in the third. The shots were only 22-16 in this. Although, according to the high danger chances, most of the shots by Florida were really high quality. The power plays, also high quality. Florida goes 3 for 3. Tampa's going to need to kill a penalty at some point in this series or it'll be over fast. Tampa's 1 for 3 on their power play. The hits favored Florida 44-26. So Tampa's going to have to up their game physically, and they're going to have to start killing penalties because otherwise, like I said, this series will be done in 4. Bobrovsky was good. 20 saves on 22 shots. Vasilevsky, people are going to say, oh, they were all really good chances and all really good goals. The difference in the playoffs is simple. You get saves from goaltenders you do not expect. You get great saves, and that can win you a series. If a goaltender's average and not bad, you can lose the series for that. Vasilevsky saves 10 out of 16, so the shock llama is on the board because I don't know that I've ever seen Vasilevsky save 10 out of 16 shots before. And he's going to have to come up with some highlight reel, game-stealing saves, especially against a Florida team that clearly has their offense back in order. Something that was questionable going into the playoffs, now they're good to go. So, yeah, Tampa Bay, it's only one game, but they're in some danger here. Vasilevsky didn't look great. A lot of the passes that Kucherov was trying were getting picked off or getting blocked. He did get an assist tonight, but that's a win. If you hold Kucherov to 1 point and it's a secondary assist, that's a win if you're Florida. And look at that, they won the game. So let me know your thoughts in the comment section below, as always. Hit like and subscribe in the event you may not have done so already. Thank you guys so much for all your support as always. I will talk to you again soon.